In the world of television, stories come and go. Characters appear, shine brightly for a while, and then slowly fade into memory. But every once in a while, something rare happens, something that goes beyond scripts, beyond scenes, and beyond the screen itself. That was the case with Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu. It began like any other project. A new script, a new set, a new team coming together to create something meaningful. There was excitement, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary. At least that's how it seemed in the beginning. The first time Barış saw Elçin on set, he noticed her calm confidence. She carried herself with quiet grace, focused yet approachable. There was no need for attention, she naturally drew it without trying. Elçin, on the other hand, observed Barış with curiosity. He had a thoughtful presence, the kind that made people feel comfortable without saying much. There was sincerity in the way he spoke, in the way he listened. Their first conversation was simple, professional, polite, but something about it lingered. As the days turned into weeks, rehearsals turned into full shooting schedules. Long hours, repeated takes, shared challenges. These were the things that slowly built a rhythm between them. And within that rhythm, something special began to form. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't dramatic. It was natural. Their scenes together started to feel effortless. Dialogue flowed with ease, emotions felt genuine, and reactions came instinctively. Directors noticed it. Crew members noticed it. And eventually the audience noticed it too. There was a kind of harmony between them that couldn't be taught or planned. Simply existed. Fans watching from their homes felt it through the screen. Every glance seemed meaningful. Every smile carried warmth. Every moment between them felt real in a way that was hard to explain. Social media quickly filled with admiration. Clips were shared. Moments were replayed. Discussions began. What makes their chemistry so special? People asked. There were many answers, but none felt complete. Because the truth was, it wasn't just about acting. Behind the scenes, Barış and Elçin developed a quiet understanding. They respected each other's work, supported each other through demanding schedules, and found comfort in small shared moments. Sometimes it was a simple conversation between takes. Sometimes it was laughter after a long day. Sometimes it was just silence, comfortable and unspoken. Those moments were never meant for the public eye. Yet they became the foundation of everything fans would later cherish. Despite the growing attention, both of them remained grounded. They stayed focused on their work. They maintained professionalism. They kept their personal thoughts private. And maybe that's what made everything feel even more genuine. Because nothing was forced. Nothing was exaggerated. Everything felt real. As the project gained popularity, the connection between their characters became one of its strongest highlights. Viewers tuned in not just for the story, but for the feeling that Barış and Elçin brought to it. It was a feeling of warmth, of sincerity, of something rare. And yet, as with all projects, the journey had its timeline. The final episodes approached. The story reached its conclusion. The set that once felt like a second home slowly began to change. Goodbyes were inevitable. On the last day of shooting, there was a quiet emotion in the air. The energy was different, soft, reflective, almost nostalgic. Barış stood on set, looking around at the place where so many memories had been created. Every corner held a moment. Every detail carried meaning. Elçin walked in, her expression calm but thoughtful. They didn't need to say much. Sometimes words are not enough. And sometimes they are not necessary. "Thank you," Barış said simply. Elçin smiled. "For everything." She nodded gently. "Thank you too." It was a simple exchange, but it held depth, years of shared effort, understanding, and moments that could never be recreated in exactly the same way again. The camera stopped rolling. The lights dimmed. And just like that, the project came to an end. But something unexpected happened. The chemistry didn't fade. Fans continued to remember. They revisited old scenes. They shared their favorite moments. They held on to the feeling that Barış and Elçin had created together. It became more than just a show. It became a memory that stayed alive. Time moved forward as it always does. Both of them continued their careers, exploring new roles, new stories, new journeys. Life expanded in different directions. Yet, no matter how far things went, that unforgettable chemistry remained. Not as something unfinished. Not as something lost. But as something complete in its own way, something that had left a lasting impression. Years later, people still spoke about it. Not with sadness, but with appreciation. Because some connections are not meant to be explained or defined. They are simply meant to be felt. And the connection between Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu was exactly that. A rare moment in time. A genuine bond. A story that fans still cherish. Not because it needed continuation, but because it was already enough. And perhaps that is what made it truly unforgettable.